Hi everyone and welcome to Homerino Collectibles, where today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Kingdom Core Class Rattrap. Now Rattrap is of course from Beast Wars, and over the years we have had some Beast Wars characters pop up in Generations and Universe, but it's been like 3 or 4 characters. They haven't ever given us like proper Beast Wars lines, which is really strange. If you're going to do it, why do a couple of characters? Why not actually do all of them? You know, there's just no point. So thank God Kingdoms have come and they're actually giving us all of the Beast Wars characters as well. It's absolutely fantastic. I love what they're doing with the line. They gave us the Cybertronian kind of looks at the start of this trilogy, and now they're not just giving us the kind of Earth G1-esque kind of looks, but they're also giving us Beast Wars stuff. I mean, this line, this War for Cybertron trilogy, has really been spectacular. It's even got a show as well. I mean, they really, really are at peak performance right now, Transformers. So, back to Rattrap here. On the back of the packaging you can see both modes and transforms in 18 steps. It is a core class, so it is quite a small pack. There are other versions of Rattrap. There are taller deluxe versions, being, for example, that Generations one. Which, if you want, if you love Rattrap and you really want something a bit more substantial, I think that figure might be a better one. But we're here to review this one, and he's obviously this big because of scale and everything, which also means he's a little bit cheaper. So there you go. If you can't get a hold of the older Rattraps or you don't have one, then let's take a look at this guy and see just how good this guy is. So here is Rattrap in Beast Mode, and this thing is really lackluster in this mode. It's about 4.5 inches from nose to tail, so obviously it's scaled small because of its comparison to the others in beast form, and also the height that they wanted to give it when it's in the robot mode. But unfortunately, it's just, it's more of a mousetrap than a rat trap. I mean, this thing is teeny tiny, and in real world proportions is more like a mouse than a rat. Yeah, there's the first glaring issue. Well, basically the robot mode is underneath him. So you've got the face right there, you've got legs here. He literally has his hands as a butt. He does actually have great articulation in the robot mode, which I'll show you a bit later on, obviously, but in this mode, there is nothing. The front paws here are completely fixed, which, I mean, isn't too much of a surprise from previous Rattrap figures, really. But then the rear ones here, I mean, you can get them to move if you want to break the transformation right there, but then it looks obviously ugly. You do have ball joints at these feet, but it's mainly for the other modes. You can't really use it for anything in this mode. I would have liked a bit more detail. It's just a plain grey. You've got lots of moulded in detail for the fur, but it could really do with some shading just to bring all of that out. Some lighter spots, some darker spots, which previous Rattrap figures have had. So it's very lackluster in that respect. It gets a little bit lighter, and then you got a little bit of a pink for the nose, but that's pretty much it. Also, in terms of just gaps, like around the headpiece here, you can see straight through, and it's not all grey. You can see a bit of that yellow tang coming through. It's just, in terms of wanting a great Rattrap, I think Deluxe would be a really, really great scale. Or even Scout, like the old Scout class, so just a little bit big, like a small Deluxe, basically. I think going for this core class for Rattrap, there's not enough plastic here to give him the attention and love that fans will want, because whilst this is good and it's okay, and is it worth the price that you pay? Yes, I honestly think it is. I think fans just would have wanted so much better, especially from a character like Rattrap. He's got so much character, and you just can't get it in this little tiny mode. He does come with a pistol for his weapon, and you can attach it to the leg in this mode if you really want to, with the peg on the side. I don't see why you would want to, but it shows it on the box, so yeah, if you wanted to have a gun coming out of his leg, you can. Right, let's go ahead and transform this guy and see if the robot mode is any better. And now we have Rattrap maximized in robot mode, and this is leaps and bounds better than the beast form. This guy actually finally looks awesome. He now stands about 3.5 inches tall, and in terms of articulation and mold, I think this guy is fantastic. Still, just like previous versions of Rattrap, you can't really do much about the back, especially because of how small he is. There's just nowhere to fold any of this stuff up. So yeah, it looks kind of ugly from the back and more like an elephant than a rat, I must say. Obviously, his actual form, these feet should be along kind of this line down the center. They shouldn't be sticking out quite as much. But previous forms of Rattrap from Hasbro have looked pretty much the same, so can't complain there. Great detail in terms of the logos that we've got there on the forearms and the silver. And yes, he does actually have his two front teeth there. They're very small, very hard to make out, but they are there. Loving that head sculpt. Gun fits in his hand very well. I love the size of it. The feet are looking pretty cool down there. The only trouble is he's got all this detail. It's kind of the wrong color. I mean, he's more of a tan than a gold. He really should have bright, shiny gold. And it's not like Hasbro can't or don't do that, because they have a lot of it. I mean, any Marvel Legends collector will tell you they have a ton of really nice, kind of marbleized effect looking shiny gold molded plastic that would have looked amazing on this guy. I'd love to have seen that. Especially this head sculpt, it would have really made that pop. And something this small, having really, really nice paintwork or molded gold, as that would have been so much better. He also needs more silver and gold down here on these sections on the legs. These leg sections, I mean, they are obviously seen in the rat form, so you can't do as much with them. So I don't mind that too much. But these sections that are just kind of on his underside, they could have put some silver in these lines and made this proper gold. Should have had a little bit on this waist piece as well. But other than that, what he does have is nice and clean. I'm glad they have at least got a bit of silver on him on the arms and the head piece right there. But this guy's articulation is really where he shines. The head is just a standard swivel, which is a bit of a shame that it doesn't look up and down. You can, if you want to, obviously move this mouse head out a little bit to make him look up, but you can't make him look down any more than that. Not that you would need him to, because he's already tiny. He's not going to be looking down at anyone. These shoulders are really interesting. They're on the ball joints from the back as opposed to from the side there. So you can rotate the arms up and then all the way around in this sense. They do wiggle a little bit there as well. And then at the elbows here, some pretty decent movement on that ball joint, which obviously means it can go left and right. There's no articulation at the wrists, but I think you can get more than enough articulation out of the rest of these arms to do everything that you need him to do. I think that's a really interesting way of doing it. Ball joints then at the hips as well, so they go all the way out to the side, all the way to the front, back, rotate a little bit too. Fantastic. Ball joints down at the knees, which obviously give you all that same range of motion. But because of the transformation, you've got the other set of ball joints here, which obviously you're not really supposed to use that. But if you want to get some awesome double jointed knee action, you totally can. It looks weird, but hey, he's a walking rat. So I think looking weird is a bit out of the question right now. Ball joints down here, because this is, I think it's paint anyway, it is a little bit stiffer, so just be careful with these. But yeah, awesome range of motion. You get a little bit of ankle pivot out of that as well, so the articulation there is more meant for the for this form than the rat form, but I think this guy looks absolutely awesome. Does this guy look fantastic? Yes. Is it a great scale in terms of the other Transformers in the line? Yes. But is this the best Rattrap figure out there? Definitely not. There's better paintwork, and just in terms of size and feel, I definitely think that you should go for the Generations one if you can get a hold of it, or if you already have it, then great. But for completing your Kingdoms Beast Wars collection, you finally have a line of Beast Wars that isn't the original Beast Wars, that you're actually getting all your main characters. This is a definite must-have. And because he's a core class, he's not as expensive as the others, which means there's no problem in picking this guy up if you already have the original Rattrap or the Generations one. Definitely, if you want to stick to those, I honestly think they are better figures just because of the scale, and you definitely feel like you've actually got Rattrap in your hands. This guy, I feel like I'm going to lose him. He's that small. But no, I do love the small characters, and I know I'm kind of hating on the scale a little bit, but I do love the fact that the scaling is a bit more accurate to what we want to see. For this character, I just feel like You know, I personally don't have any other Rattrap figures, so this is my only one, and I just feel like I wish he was just a bit more substantial, but I can always go ahead and grab one of the older ones. So do I recommend this guy? Yes, if you are collecting the other Kingdoms line, or if you just love Rattrap and you have to have all the Rattrap figures because, well, there's not that many of them anyway. But yeah, if you already have an older one, you're not getting a few of the other ones, and you don't really care about the rest of the line, I think this is going to be an easy pass. But they've done a great job with the scale that they have chosen, and that is the main thing. Would have loved him to be a bit bigger so they can do a bit more, and so he doesn't have fists as his ass, but you know what? This does the trick, and it'll do for now. So, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more from me, check out the videos on screen right now, and the links to my social media in the description below. And for more Transformers Kingdoms, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.